Hello, hi there, lovely Libras. I'm Bella, the Secret Psychic, and thank you very much for joining my YouTube channel. How I work is I work with my spirit guides. So it's my spirit guides really giving this kind of general overview for 2017, the kind of key themes for you to kind of watch out for so that you can navigate through 2017 in a super way. And it is a super year for most star signs as well, super foundation setting year. So I think, be excited about what twists and turns there is to come for you. And if you haven't used me before, you're viewing me for the first time, and you want to know more about me, or perhaps want a private reading, or join my Facebook community, then just see the links below to all of my services and to my group as well, when I do live weekly talks. So just to crack on, because I don't like to waste time, is to talk about the start of the year and how that sort of kicks off for you. I feel here that there's a answering for you, because I feel there's been, for a lot of you, worry about connections, but worrying mainly about sort of finances, business work, that kind of career, that sort of maybe a bit of an overspill from last year, that my guides are saying it's answering for you to understand that your strength has been tested and that you have the strength to get all your ducks in a row, to kind of make the plans that you need to, but to do that in a way, and like it's asking you to take time basically to put your plans and your thoughts into place, to use that time and that energy in that month to plan and prepare. Because you've heard that saying, poor preparation leads to poor performance, and it's so true for Libras in January, but also will just help your mind cope with things better. Because I feel here for some of you, you've had a bit of an overwhelming experience when it comes to work, career, finances, study, that kind of element. So use January, use your own internal strength, emotional strength, and not to be led necessarily by your emotions, to use the kind of balance in you, the kind of practical side of you, to just take your time to put your plans down. Don't rush things, because if you do, and you use the same kind of energy or overwhelming feeling that you had from the sort of year before, the end of last year, then you'll just sort of emotionally tear yourself inside. I think here the energy that we're going into will help you with that, basically. So I get my guides are using the words, you'll become a lot more grounded in work. And for some of you, this will also include relationships as well. You'll feel a sense of stability and groundedness, and your focus being in the right kind of place, in the right kind of way, and not necessarily all about your emotions and how it's letting you impact you. You have much more control over it, basically. Super helpful for you. And I feel here, again, as we go into sort of February, my guides are sort of indicating, because you've taken that time to kind of nurture yourself and to make plans in a very methodical kind of way, that nobody can then ruin that for you. And you might find, particularly if you work for yourself, or particularly if you're in work, that if you have daggers flying at you because someone wants you to raise your performance, or perhaps people are jealous over your ambitions, or you seem to be doing quite well, that you're not going to let that get you down or take on too much. Be able to say no to things, no to people, without it being more drama than it needs to be. You will do that successfully because you've given yourself the grounding work to know when is when and what is enough, but also to put your feelings and your resources very much into where it should be. Because the overall theme I'm getting for you is almost like, if you can do that, you have much more time to have quality time for yourself and for the people that are important in your life, which perhaps need that attention from you. And you're able to give it because you're not feeling so overwhelmed, basically. So do use January and February time to build that kind of light within you, to bring the balance back, as they say, in the very verbatim sense when it comes to Libras. Do that. I feel here again, as you go into March, because you've set those foundations, it kind of gives you time to think about what else you want to do, how you want to expand things, how you want to set new foundations. But it feels wider than just what you're doing in your everyday to-day study, work, life, or relationships. It feels like you want to be even more bold. You're almost like, I want to have long-term goals and plans, like I want to emigrate, or I want to buy that big RV, or I want to travel around the world, and I plan to do it by 2019. Whatever this is, you really are taking the time to expand on that methodical planning that you've done in sort of February and January, to do almost like a longer projection for yourself in where you want to expand or change things big time, to change your lifestyle big time, but not necessarily in this year, but to start the seeds and the thoughts of how A leads to B leads to C, to get you to that bigger goal that's much later. So you'll take that time. I like this about you, Libras, because it feels to me that you're just being so considerate to yourself, not letting things overwhelm you, but also wanting to know how you can very carefully plan how you get some bigger, greater events to happen in your life that other people, again, may be a bit jealous about. But it's because you thought about it, you planned for this, you're putting money aside, you're just planning for everything, basically. I think that's good. And I think for some of you, as you go into April, you may not know, I think you've planned, but you may not know exactly where you're going, but it's not going to hold you back. I feel for a lot of you, the feeling that I'm getting is that you're just going to go with the flow because you've got things in hand and you know the direction and you've planned it out. So there's no need to stress or worry about it. I just get here lots of creative inspiration. I get here success for a lot of you when it comes to, especially if you work for yourself, that's growing bigger and expanding. I get travel, particularly around the April-May time for a lot of people. I get creativity when it comes into a relationship as well, and how that just lifts and makes your soul feel really, really happy. As we get into June, for me, there is a feeling that's probably, I feel here, and I have to go on a bit, but it feels to me that June, you might feel like you do get super excited about something, so much so that you then feel like you want to rush and do too much again. But I feel here, because of the lessons that would have been learnt from last year about when you do that, how it can make you feel very overwhelming. And yes, you have these wonderful ideas which are all going to work out for you. There's no need to rush about it. So try not to put yourself in a spin about trying to rush and try to, do things in a very careful, methodical way. I think for you, this is a theme that I'm getting. Careful, slowly, gets you the win. Trying to rush only panics you, takes your attentions off the things that you really do care about, can send you into a spin and make you sick, and there's no need to do that. I would say here in June, you're likely to try and do that, but I think you'll quickly learn that that's not making your... Now, I get my guides are using your health could be affected if you don't, and you'll get the health warning, and so you'll just back down, and I don't mean something, doom and gloom, but you may stress yourself out or cause yourself to have a skin rash or whatever it is, because your mind is, and your body is just saying to you, no, you need to go back to slowing down and doing things in a very calm way. For some of you around that time as well, and particularly if you're dealing with some of the ways that you cope with things, or some trauma or past trauma that you may be considering at that time, also to be seeking some external help, so therapy, life coaching, counselling, whatever this is, to help you maintain what you've already started and you've been empowering yourself to do, which is to take your time. Things will flow, and because you do that, things do flow to you. You've been seeing it all year, so why in June are you going to backtrack? I think it's just the energy at that time for you guys. July and August, I love July and August for you guys. Pretty much you're on cloud contentment, cloud 9. You're very much like Leos at that time. Love is great for you. Everything is everything. My guides want me to express that so many times. Everything is going right for you in July and August. You cannot get a single thing wrong. Any direction you want to go, anything you want to achieve, love, work, holidays, everything happens. People around you, joyous. It's just really, those 2 months are super good, super positive, super abundant. Money comes towards some people. I get a cash flow, I get a large amount being offered. This again could be an inheritance. This could also be that a project that you've been waiting for, a bonus that you've been waiting for that perhaps was delayed, or whatever it is comes to you during that time. There's not a single thing that seems to be disappointing, let's say. They're saying here, then as we get to sort of September and October, again, it just feels like for you guys, it's very much a well thought out kind of year. you know, you do reflect in those months about the journey you've come on. And so for some of you, for your partnerships in particular, they may feel that you're withdrawing, but what you're actually doing, for me, is that you're planning again. But I just think be careful about, because you're deeply planning and you're on the right path, absolutely, and your plans will come to fruition, but are you distracting yourself with the practicalities of life and not necessarily investing in your connections? Just be mindful of that, because it feels that others around you, whether it's a relationship, new relationship, family, friends, all feel like you're going AWOL, but you're not. You're just internalizing things, because you can recognize the power of when you do have this kind of methodical way of going forward, that actually how much it works for you, that you just want to give yourself some more time to see what other possibilities can I do, what other seeds can I sow that leads me again to that end goal that I want in a couple of years' time, that bigger life change that I'm aiming for. Just be mindful that you're just not sapping yourself too much into your own bubble, that you're not causing other people to panic and worry, because you might then wake up and go, why is that person really upset with me? What have I done? I'm trying to concentrate on building new foundations for us. Why don't they get me? Why are they bothering me? It's because you've been ignoring them a little bit, and they don't like it, and they're worried and they're panicking that perhaps something's fracturing in your relationship. So if you can recognize that, it will be less, you won't feel less annoyed with them, I think is the word to use. And then just September, October time, around your birthday month, really, that's when you're really at your peak. It feels like the energy, particularly around your birthday month, September, October, that you really are finding your balance. You are balanced. And for those of you, let's say, who have been experiencing or have the challenge with some mental health in particular, because you've done so marvelously, I have to say, without sounding patronising, you literally are the most balanced you've ever been. Everything that you have planned and put into place up to that date has worked out. So if you plan to go on a holiday, you've gone. If you plan to increase your revenue by 20%, you've done it. Whatever you have decided to do, it has all worked by that point. So you're feeling very content, very balanced, very in control, to the point where I think you can help other people as well as help yourself. And I think there's an emotional acknowledgement about it. And I think that's why my guides are bringing up about those of you who personally experience stress or some sort of depression or whatever it is, some emotional, mental challenges, anxiety challenges, feel super in control for the longest time in their life, to a point where it makes you feel emotional and very, very grateful that you've been able to achieve so much in 1 year and set good foundations that you can see where this is heading to. It's ending up in that goal that you want to achieve. And I think because of that, your attitude for the next couple of years is really super going to change, particularly those who've had that kind of emotional challenge, because you're literally don't feel like you have to defend yourself. You know how to be the master of and control of your emotions. Nothing is going to overwhelm you quite in the same way again when it comes to you knowing that you can achieve things. It just won't happen. So you're basically, it's been shown to me like you're going to leave your defensive swords to one side, because you don't need them anymore, because you are light, you are in control of everything. So you end your year, the guides are saying, feeling like the master of the universe and the master of everything, and that you have control of everything. And let other people, my guides are saying, be jealous of that if they need to be, because that's their karmic problem, not yours. For you, I just feel, out of all the star signs I've read for, that you go through the biggest transformation. I have a great saying that I like to say, like, you're definitely turning in from a caterpillar into a butterfly, and by the end of the year you are big, beautiful, blooming, lovely, gorgeous, vibrant one, and you know it and you love it. And it's just like, I feel emotional about it. It's super cathartic. And I think for those of you who know what I mean, particularly those who have had emotional, mental sort of challenges, will know exactly what I mean. So that's the kind of overall theme for you Libras. Like, basically you check everything off of your wish list, everything you want to achieve, because you've been so grounded for the longest time and not necessarily, and then had the opportunity to have quality of time with yourself, with people, and make proper plans that you just see that just keep happening for you, you just feel more than grateful. You feel super powerful. You feel like Superman or Superwoman. So thank you for that, because that felt really good, energy wise, about how you all feel at the end of the year. So I can't wait for you to get to the end of the year to know what I mean. So I do hope that's been super helpful for you today. And again, if you would like a private reading, please just check out the links below. I'm happy to help where I can, and to do like and share if you've enjoyed this as well. So happy new year, because I think you're going to have a really grounding and good one. Take care. Bye-bye.